It's us. Just who you were waiting for.
I was
Brain
going to
fog
say,
and I.
it sounds like Orion in the background.
Orion is having a little bit of a hissy fit at the squirrels in the background.
Ah.
The squirrels. He doesn't like the squirrels in the yard. That squirrel in yard bad.
I got to turn this one down. Okay, I'm putting you on the big screen because you're too little here.
I'm too little?
On my screen. Because you saw me. I just ran in. I made sure I put makeup on just so if you had it and were expecting me, I threw some stuff on. And the liquid eyeliner is getting easier and easier. You need to start doing it.
That would mean I'd have to do eyeliner. I don't do eyeliner.
Whoa. But you should. You're freaking blonde. Even brown, believe it or not, brown eyeliner would work on you.
Yeah.
Charlotte
with my
uses
downturned hooded eyes, I've never learned how to make a wing that works. And I asked my child number 4 to make a wing once, and she made it look like a comma. I want a stark wing.
Not at our age. I can't do wings anymore because of my hooded eyes. They all look like commas. Either that or half my eyelid is covered in black.
Well, that's not reassuring.
You missed your time, dear.
It's too late, huh?
Yes.
Happy Worldwide Goth Day, by the way.
Thank you. I completely forgot until I got the one from Cricket this morning or this afternoon when I was getting my nails done and showed the 2 nail techs that have become friends.
That's so sweet.
They thought it was awesome. Even though I was thinking, that looks like the fat me.
I wore another one of my favorite pieces today, and it's too big. I'm gonna have to get it taken in.
My goth coat, which is a wool full skirted, goes down to my ankles. Snipped in beautiful coat is almost too big for me and will be by the time I'm done.
You should see the Persian lamb coat that I ran across on Marketplace the other day.
Ooh.
That my child says they don't want.
Why?
They don't like it.
Number 4?
Yes.
Are they gothy?
No, they are whatever they want. There is no real rhyme or reason to their
So basically they are still teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is this the squirrel
let me show you.
Oh my god, I forgot.
You gotta see it. Hold on.
I'm not supposed to have that on for when we do Oldtifa, even though more avoiding the government
hey,
right
Adam,
now.
how are you?
Hello, big giant head.
Hi, Papa Cat.
Hello,
Orion
sweetheart.
is having a hysterical fit over the squirrels. Okay, here we go. Let's this. I just, if it would fit me, Linda.
Oh.
Look at that.
I'm waiting for it to pop up on the big screen. Yeah, last week when I had you, you were too small for me. So it's like, that's why I kept doing this last week. Oh, but the delay here is awful. Okay, let's see. Ooh, ooh. And you said it almost fits you?
No,
Not even
it's
close?
medium small,
Ooh, God, even I'm not gonna be able to get down to that. But it's
right?
awesome.
But look at it.
Are you sure you shouldn't get it just in case they change their mind at some point?
Uh, for $50, I'm not sure I shouldn't get it in case they change their mind at some point. I mean,
Possible. You may, you'll be the greatest mom on the planet if they are like, "Oh, I want this now."
it's just beautiful.
Yeah, and I've not seen that mix, Persian
No,
lamb and
neither
mink.
have I.
Yeah.
Neither have I. It's beautifully done. It's a beautiful color. The mink is beautiful. It's just gorgeous all the way around.
I was gonna say, get a mannequin in your craft area and then just put it
I
on the
have a
mannequin.
mannequin in my craft area,
Then
actually.
it'll be perfect for it.
There you go.
I very
That's not
much
a bad
believe in, like,
idea.
clothes as art when you can't fit it. The little sister actually has one of her Ren Fair costumes she puts on her wall because it was a royalty costume,
Mm.
and it was done for her, and it's gorgeous.
Hey, good vibes. Adam, did I let slip the government name?
I didn't hear it. Ooh. Right. Well, at least I know you can't hear her if you couldn't hear Papa Cat right next to you.
They're not here right now, but I
I know
should get
Birdie's
it.
howling. You should. Just do it before it's gone.
I am trying to figure out what to get for myself for my graduation. What 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 should be my, and I cannot.
Jewelry.
Well, it's either jewelry or a trip.
Jewelry.
Yeah.
Actually, get a trip. Yeah, I know. The Hello Kitty paper thing is gonna be your graduation present from me. Besides the fact that
Oh,
the paper keeps piling up, I keep putting more and more paper in your pile.
I'm gonna need less paper.
But this is all fountain pen and grid. I'm sending you all my grid stuff. I can't stand it.
Oh, you don't like grids?
Mm-mm.
Really? I love grid paper.
How about a pen?
Well, I love pens too.
No, I mean for your graduation gift, not jewelry or travel. How
Oh,
about a pen?
no, I have a nice pen.
You can have more than one nice pen, Missy.
Yeah, but it won't, like, if I were to get a piece of jewelry, it'd be something I'd wear all the time, right? I'd want to get a ring. And a pen, I mean, I can have more than one nice pen, but there is not a pen I'm lusting over,
Well,
right?
how about a bracelet instead of like a ring?
There's a bracelet that they have at the Hawaiian jewelry store, you know which one I mean? That I've liked, that I could go look at again. But I'd like it to be something that's like, you know, it's a piece of jewelry that I would hand down, that I would hold on to it, not a piece of costume jewelry.
You can't
Not
get
that,
a ring until you're down to your weight, dear, because mine are.
oh, mine aren't, I mean, I've had to get sizers because my hands are
I thought
so,
my fingers wouldn't go down. This is like the third keeper ring to keep from my finger because I need to downsize my home ring.
I
So
finally I took the sizer off of this one and put it back on my ring finger because I've lost enough weight that it can go back on my ring finger now. But now so I lost my wedding ring.
How'd you lose your wedding ring?
Oh, years ago.
Yeah, that's what I
It just
figured.
came off my finger. My fingers get cold and they shrink.
Mm-hmm.
So this was it's just a replacement gold band, but I got it when I was larger. So
Right.
It's got a sizer on it. So it's a half a size, maybe a full size too big. I mean, they'll size it down usually for no charge because they get the gold.
But still, that's what you can do is get yourself a replacement wedding ring. That could definitely be handed down.
Yeah, I could do that.
That would just take a couple of months of saving.
Yeah.
Unless you're like me, you can't save $1 to save your life.
I need to go shopping, and I can't go shopping until after I graduate. So
That would be a good reason for me to come up there.
one step at a time.
Yes.
Shopping first, or graduating first.
Yes.
Then shopping.
Yeah, and you'll probably be even a good mood when you graduate because it'll be the day after Flag Day. So that's the day after the massive protests.
It is the day after the massive protests. Hopefully they will be massive.
I still think that the road's not going to be able to support all the weight that the balloons got for his military parade.
I have heard tell that they're actually not having a parade. That the military says that such a thing is not happening.
Thank you. I was wondering if they were going to pop in because I didn't think the military would be into that.
Yeah, they're not. I'm not certain about it. Adam might know.
I wouldn't be surprised. Seriously,
better.
I didn't think the military would be into it.
But it doesn't seem like it's a thing that's happening, which is as it should be.
Actually, if they aren't there, it's the 22nd. If they aren't there by this weekend, they're not having it because they would at least need actually a month.
Stage.
Yeah, they need a month to actually like do it correctly. Yeah, so if they're not there by this weekend, they're not going to do it.
Darn.
Well, I'm trying to think.
So you want the good news, the good story now, or shall we save it for after all the awfulness?
No. If we do it now, would it support all the nastiness, or should we do it at the end to pick up?
We should do it at the end for a pickup.
Okay.
I have no list, though. I told you I'd become. This is my blind react week.
I said I had a list. I'm glad I didn't like rely on making it bigger because I got totally distracted. And so I had been sitting here until 6:25. The girls don't bug me for food. So I looked at my watch, went, holy crap, looked up at the clock, and then ran downstairs to feed them and me. This is the first time I've never, ever, ever wanted to eat on the Wegovy. So that's 6 months. I seriously made myself eat something.
Well, you should make yourself eat something.
Well, Papa Cat has me trained very well. I have to do a protein at least once a day. So I had a croissant from Nico's I got yesterday and cut it in half and put some London broil that I got at the Safeway and ate most of it.
Nice.
That was the weird thing. It's the first time I seriously didn't even want to have a piece of chocolate.
Child number 3 made Foganoff for dinner.
Ooh.
And told me it was ready about 10 minutes before.
I was sitting there.
I've got Foganoff waiting for me.
From scratch?
Well, it's
the packet.
From scratch. It's from scratch, but it's with hamburger, not
The only thing that's weird in beef stroganoff is chicken. Everything else, because yeah, I grew up with the chunks, slices, a hamburger, because for a lot of people it was also a leftover meal from like
Yep.
Sunday roast.
Yep.
So that's why I said the packet. Also,
No,
you get the
no,
packet
from
work from there.
scratch. From scratch with noodles. So that's dinner tonight.
Yes. So it's going to
After we
torture you.
get through the icks. Yeah.
Yeah, after we get through the ick. So, well, at least, we got a semi good one out, was that they're not going to have the military. The last thing he would have would be the National Guard. So if the National Guard aren't there by this weekend, nobody's going to be there.
Okay.
Just to have a bunch of them walk by so we could salute them. And also, weirdly enough, this is a good thing. If the National Guard won't even do it, that means they can impeach him because the National Guard will not come to his rescue. Because I'm sure it's what he's relying on, is the National Guard coming to his rescue.
Even the National Guard isn't sufficient. I mean, let's not talk about Civil War right now because I can't.
God, I wasn't even thinking of Civil War. I was just thinking of, okay.
That's where my brain goes. Sorry.
And we have to say, oh, you're there. I was going to say on my list, shout out to Good Vibes.
Good Vibes is here. Good Vibes says the coat is beautiful.
Yes, it is.
It's such a beautiful coat.
Yes, it is.
I could not believe they didn't like it. I was like, what?
Do you think I wound up with a cheetah coat? People don't have the same taste anymore. And that coat's obviously from the 60s, probably. A blonde mink. They don't do that anymore.
I know. I do have one that I'm looking at that's actually it's a 22, so it might be too big.
Probably will be.
But it depends on what the sizing is. Like a 22 in a wedding gown wouldn't be too small. The 22 in a wedding gown is like a 14. You know what I mean?
If you're lucky.
Exactly. So this one.
I mean, hell, I still like the other one better.
Well, yes, but this one would fit me. The other one is a small medium.
That's why I'm like, what do I have that'd probably fit you? I've got to have at least one fur that would fit you. We'll talk later about measurements. Because also, it's like, I have clothes or tops I could send you, but they're all black.
Well, I wear black. I just don't like...
Wear it exclusively?
All black. I do like color.
Because remember, I only did 2 bags of clothing swap, so I still haven't gone through my closet yet.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
Well, we should talk, because if you've got XL stuff that you're getting rid of.
Well, yeah, no, totally. We need to.
Yeah.
I have coats and stuff too.
Okay.
Warren said that it probably cost $1 billion to fluff up the Junker 747 that we got.
Boeing said that?
No, Senator Warren said, and I saw it reiterated. But I saw it reiterated on another article I was reading. So besides the fact that it would probably take a year or two on top of that.
Well, did you hear the story, the backstory?
Well, they bought him.
The backstory is not even that they're giving it to him.
What are they doing then?
Selling it, I believe. They're not actually giving him the plane.
He's not getting it. At least we don't have to worry about that then.
He wanted a new one and
he
Boeing can't deliver.
didn't work on it while he was gone because it was supposedly supposed to be ready when he was gone. And I bet you they just said, forget that, and didn't bother working on it again.
I don't know.
Oh, why isn't Propaganda Barbie wearing her cross anymore?
Oh, I don't know.
I noticed it because it's like it's a little big, and so it's like sticks out like crazy. And Papa Cat's always like, "Oh, she got her cross." She hasn't worn it like all week.
Maybe she's not a Christian anymore.
With all the lying she's had to do, she probably feels like it's going to burn a hole in her.
Right?
Because it's just saw a couple of clips of the kids with her, and the one kid who said, was it how many people has he fired today? And she was like, he doesn't fire people. It's like, bull. That's
He does fire people.
Walmart
Adam,
laid off
Adam,
1,500.
really?
Yeah, yesterday I found out.
1,500. That's not good.
Yeah, talk about
So, Adam,
backhoe.
is the bond market still wigging out from yesterday? It's still even after the House passed the spending bill?
I heard today up to 5%, which is not good for a bond market or a bond. So we're not reliable.
Right. We're a little unreliable right now.
Our credit rating has gone down. I don't blame them. I mean, it's like this like slight anxiety that sits in the back of my head thinking, I'm glad Papa Cat didn't meet me until he was 35.
Yeah.
I was the first and only girlfriend, so it's like I had to tease my brother and tell him he doesn't get to retire this year because his 401k is going to be crap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, I seriously have the question of why are we still just sitting here and taking it?
It's like a crucifix massage table.
I'll wear my Ankh tomorrow. Okay, I have one. Of course I have one. I'm a goth girl. I wore it for years.
Goth, you have an Ankh.
Yeah, I have an Ankh, a silver Ankh with a amethyst in the middle of it. So there.
Beautiful.
Oh, it is. I love it.
Beautiful.
Got it from the alternative jewelry store back in the 90s.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So why are we sitting here watching it?
I was having lunch with a girlfriend about this today. And she said it's like everybody has all this pent-up energy ready to do something, but nobody can figure out what shape that something should take.
Also, it's like, you know what? The first wave always dies when you do something like this, major. So it's like, are they all afraid of dying first? It's like, sorry.
I don't know.
People have to get harmed. It's
pent-up energy is a lot.
I know. Papa Cat not being here yesterday, I had two full-blown anxiety attacks and then just vibrated all day long and wondered what the hell. It's never happened. It's all of the world falling apart, or our world falling apart.
That's very cool, Adam.
Where is that?
San Francisco, New York's greatest occult store, Adam.
Yeah. San Francisco used to have a ton of occult stores. I mean, then one day you blink and they're gone. It's amazing. Not even.
Maybe that's what I'll do for graduation. I've never been to New York City. Then New Orleans and Charleston, right? Like it's the choices.
Well, New York isn't what it used to be. I mean, we're probably not even gonna really go because that's where we would go on a vacation other than DC because we're trying to get through the Smithsonian. And I still
Mm-hmm.
haven't been to MLK Museum, so it was like totally looking forward to that. But now we can't because I refuse to go into DC with him there because everybody's just angry. And so we went to New York before COVID, but I heard lately it's starting to be like the 70s again.
Really?
Yeah, so you need to check that out. Have to go somewhere else. So,
Magical
Magical
Child.
Child?
It's
Oh, it's gone.
gone.
Yeah, one of the big occult stores even had like 5 different tarot rooms that were always doing tarot. It was like, it was so cool.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those things from the 90s that's gone.
I've got a tarot deck that I got on Kickstarter that hasn't shown up. I need to figure out what's going on with it.
Well, remember, I have this.
Wise Cat Tarot. That's amazing.
I got it at, I want to say at like Cost Plus, or I ordered it. I can't remember. But yeah, I had it out one day, and it was like I got it because it was just cool. I'm sure there's a tarot deck somewhere where my altar stuff is because every pagan needed an altar at one period of time.
Right. New Orleans or Charleston? I feel you, good vibes. New Orleans or
Always,
Charleston?
you can always go to Dollywood.
I could go to Dollywood.
Dollywood
That
is
I
fun.
could do.
That and they
The
have a
pure
great
porn
like
about New York is misleading, Adam says. It's probably like the fear corn about Portland. Do you know what they say about Portland?
yes, remember? I found out last year.
Oh my goodness, it is not.
Well, I'm sure if you stay away from Times Square, but part of going to New York is Times Square. Times Square is
Well,
like,
but even I mean, even going down to the org where your dad says it's so awful. You have to understand, I was down there by myself on the regular in my chair
weirdly
for
enough, though,
hours.
I was gonna say weirdly enough, though, because it's probably the homeless thing that gets, the older crowd, is that they would be nice to you because you were in your chair. That's
Well,
the way it
yes.
works. So it's like, I know, I told my dad, I'm like, I've worked at clubs where I drove by myself for years, and now I'm supposed to become afraid of everything? I don't think so.
All of us, and I grew up in the hood. Like, I grew up in the hood. So,
It's also how you present yourself, if you ask me.
well, we don't want to victim blame, but there are ways to be safer in how you present yourself. Yes.
Literally holding your head straight forward. Don't,
Go to Brooklyn, huh? Yeah, don't look down. Make sure you're looking ahead. Make sure you're walking with intent. Make sure your shoulders are back. Your head's held high. You're
don't
smiling.
frown.
You're greeting people. You're interacting. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard I Had It girls talking about the difference between like an urban area and a suburban area, or even north and south, is that because they're from Oklahoma City, and they're like, well, you always say hi to everybody, and you don't have to do that in New York. I'm like, if someone makes eye contact with you, just say hi, and that disarms people. So,
Yeah, but in New York, they'd think it's weird.
no, I did it in New York because I'm used to doing it in San Francisco. So,
Right.
I do it everywhere because
I do it everywhere because that's who you are.
It's just a sense reaction. It's like, oh my God, I just said hi. So
Times Square may be oppressive and boring, Adam, but you have to admit, I cannot make it. If I were to come to New York, it would be inappropriate.
yes.
And a
Yes.
true loss to not be able to say, yes, I made it to Times Square. Yeah,
You
you have to walk like you're going somewhere.
right.
Indeed, Adam.
Um, and the first time you go to New York, you should always go to Times Square because then you don't have to ever go back.
Right. Get it out of the way. Hey, I'd be happy to drive through Times Square. I don't need to be,
Well, you can't really drive through it anymore.
well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
we
Take an
can,
Uber across it. Yeah.
exactly.
Although I was thinking, take an Uber, open the door, touch the ground, and then leave, and then you've been to Times Square.
And then you've been to Times Square. There you go. Exactly.
So yeah, the first time we went, God, it's probably 10 years ago now, and we were near Times Square. So, and at the time, this was before all the really before they closed the streets down. So it
Mm-hmm.
still was like Times Square. So it was really cool to go at 2 o'clock in the morning. There weren't a ton of people there. It was all lit up like it's supposed to be, and it was just breathtaking. But it was my first time too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you go to New York and never been to Times Square, it'd be like,
I mean, I agree, Adam. I want to go to Brooklyn. I want to get some flavor, right? I don't want it to be maudlin and oppressive. After Times Square, go to the West Village. Okay.
I was gonna say, and make sure you go to the 9/11 memorial. It's awesome.
I'm sure it is.
You can go on the top floor of the world, the World One, and look out, or go to the cafe and have a bite. It's very cute. It was cool.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
What's
Bird Brain.
next?
He thinks he's gonna have a presidential library. Do you think anybody's gonna pay for that?
He he has to pay for his own presidential library.
Well, usually they do fundraisers for it, but do you really think, because he'll probably be gone by the time it really starts, it really starts percolating. So it's like, I bet you if he lasts this time, nobody's going to contribute to that because they don't want to get outed on the internet.
Right. Well, by the time it comes along, nobody will contribute. Now, I mean, hell, they're not sure if the Senate is going to pass the reconciliation bill. So,
With all the little subtitles in it. Yeah.
Adam, if I end up taking a trip to New York, you will be on my email Rolodex. I will be getting all of the tourist tips from you.
I didn't go to the Statue of Liberty. I heard the Statue of Liberty is always a bitch to be at.
Really?
Because it's the Statue of Liberty, so there's always a ton of people.
It's always a crowd.
Even
I've seen the Statue of Liberty. I flew through New York. I've seen it up close, in real, in person. Why would I want to be at the foot of the statue when the point is to see it?
Exactly.
It's like Up, right? He always has the picture where you can't. So the house is situated where you can't see the thing you want to see.
And I think I would actually assume that some pilots fly by her on purpose.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I know I saw her once from a plane, but it may have not have been, I don't know. But yeah, it's like, even was it December 26th to the 30th, it was packed.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, we went to Times Square and saw the memorial and hung out at the was it the subway mall and things like that. It's like, yeah, and I could literally see the Statue of Liberty from our hotel. So
that's all that's necessary.
Exactly.
If I can see it, then we're good. I don't need to tour the actual statue.
Don't you have family that's been here forever too? You're one of those people?
Yes, I have family that's been here forever. Pre Mayflower, actually. I have family that predates the Mayflower.
You have the um ones who came here to make cash, uh not the religious ones.
Actually, I have the ones who came here to get away from the crown.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
And
your ancestors beat my ancestors. So
yeah, I mean, I've got the religious ones too. Don't get me wrong. I've got the Mayflower too. But
wow.
yeah, legend. So the family history is that an ancestor owned what is now Boston Common.
Ooh.
Yeah. And gifted it to the town. Mostly because he was an old he was frustrated with the town continuing to do what they were doing, and so it was easier to give up the piece of land than it was to fight the town.
So yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, supposedly the Pueblos were supposed to be given Albuquerque, basically, but yeah, like that happened.
Mm-hmm. Adam will talk.
This is where we miss Cricket, because Cricket would be talking about all the French
Cricket would be
Canadians.
talking about all the French Canadians. Exactly. We're past Cricket's bedtime, though.
Oh,
Cricket's been doing
Cricket
really
is
well
keeping.
and going to bed early.
Ah, okay. Me and
At a
Papa Cat have.
reasonable hour on the East Coast, right? Because it's
No, Papa Cat and I know that the minute he retires, we're gonna turn nocturnal again, because when he had a lot of time off, we were in bed at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning again.
yes, yes. That
So
tends to be my schedule too. 10 a.m. to yeah. Although that's really hard in the winter because it gives you like 4-hour days.
that was a cool thing in the middle. I went to London for Y2K, and that was actually cool that the sun went down at like 2.
Right. Well, you're not used to it going down that early.
No.
Yeah, it's dark in a high winter here. It's dark by 4:15.
Okay. Yeah, no, I've never been up there during the winter. My dad hates it up there during the winter. We're trying to convince him to buy a condo with my aunt, because they're trying to get her. She lives in like back of Oregon. And since my uncle passed away, they've been trying to get her in and get my dad to go in with her. Then he'd spend 6 months here and 6 months there. So, because yeah, he cannot stand winter. When my aunt was really sick and passed away, it was in wintertime and he was not amused.
I think significantly difference between San Francisco winter and Portland winter.
Oh, God, yes. Portland winter is the slip and slide. That's why he didn't like it. He didn't like the ice.
It snows once in a blue moon.
It's icy a lot.
For a Californian, maybe.
Well, he's
Not
been
for a
here.
Minnesotan.
He's been here for 53 years.
The Minnesotan says that is not ice.
That's a Mediterranean climate for you guys.
Oh, Adam, I want the MRA report.
What's an MRA report?
So MRA is called the Moral Rearmament Group.
Oh.
And they were a group that formed prior to World War II, but coming out of World War II, they focused on a peace testimony and they still have a conference center in Switzerland that they used to bring Europeans together towards a to try and forge peace in Europe. And so they were really instrumental after the Second World War in helping to forge peace in Europe. Okay. But they're also known as a cult.
Oh.
So Glenn Close was raised in the MRA, and she says they're a cult.
She would know if she was, raised in it.
Well, one person's cult is another person's religious group. One person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter.
Since we're known now for being high and tight with the terrorists that knocked down the Twin Towers.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get the puppy here. Get him to stop barking his head off.
Adam said Glenn Close grew up MRA and definitely regards it as a cult.
Yes.
I probably believe her.
Well,
why don't you believe her?
I don't disbelieve her.
But you don't believe her because you keep going, I
think different people's experiences of groups can be different.
I hope you didn't like that makeup.
Exactly. Goodness gracious.
I had the teacup Yorkie, my manicurist. I keep going like this. Manicurist dog on me because she loves me. And it's like, I'm like, don't look there. Don't look there. Don't look there.
Don't look there. Don't look there.
Yeah. And I'm like, don't lick the moisturizer because the more expensive it is, the faster it's going to get you sick. But she helped so much in calming me down this morning, having her.
Oh, good.
That's why I told Papa Cat, you're doomed. We are getting a dog. So I figure something small. Don't want to do. I would love a husky.
Smaller than a dachshund.
Yes. I'm thinking about Pomsky, Pom, My Luck, a long-haired Chihuahua.
Yeah. Pomsky, Pom, Chihuahua, Yorkie.
Even a Papillon. I love Papillons. They're adorable.
Tom Mboya was a Kenyan member of MRA, and I remember him being mentioned by James Angleton in an interview. Tom Mboya was also an associate of Barack Obama's father. Interesting.
I didn't see it left off at Barack Obama's, period. So you got
Barack Obama's father.
Okay. Well, it's like saying that, the Grateful Dead knew my father. Big deal. It doesn't mean anything.
It's just interesting to see where the threads.
Oh, it's interesting to see where the threads
go.
Oh, and did you see that yesterday? His Oval Office with the South African president?
No, I've avoided looking at it because I've heard all about it.
The one I haven't seen it all. I've just seen bits and pieces, and the one about the NBC guy. Stop! You're not allowed to ask any more questions. It's like that, and the South African president saying, "I didn't come with a plane." I thought that was great.
Yeah, I thought that was lovely.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Mm-hmm. It's just like, and he's so damn stupid. You should have. It'd be better if you did. Okay. It's like, I don't necessarily think dementia anymore. I just think rampant greed and stupidity.
I don't think that one excludes the other. Neither are exclusionary of the other.
He just seems a little bit more with it when he's like talking to someone, as a salesman will. So it's like, I don't think it's necessarily dementia. I just think he's a blooming idiot, unfortunately.
No, I think he's gotten away with shit for his whole life, so he can just talk off the cuff. He just talks and people fawn.
I don't get it. I've never considered him to have charisma. I don't understand.
I don't understand either. He's been disgusting to me forever.
He has been sort of like, what the hell are you doing trying to be frou-frou? You know what I mean? He just didn't seem to fit into that set.
Well, that's part of the problem. He's never quite been accepted, and so that feeds his anger, right? And then when Obama made jokes about him,
It wasn't, I found out it just wasn't him. That whole night he got gotten picked on. So it wasn't just Obama. The host picked on him like crazy too.
I was saying to somebody today, we were talking about people getting upset about English being illegible when it's spoken by East Indian folks.
Okay.
And I said, I understand that. I have problems understanding East Indian English, accented English sometimes.
Okay.
That is true. But you know what else I have trouble understanding? I have trouble understanding Scottish English most of the time as well.
Oh, the accent. It took me a long time to get used to the accent.
Right. But nobody ever bitches about all these Scottish people
Or Cockney.
who aren't speaking the proper English. Or Cockney. Or
Irish.
Right.
Yeah, they don't talk about the lower class Great Britain people because they're the ones who have the heavy accents. Scottish, I mean, it just sounds like you've got marbles in your mouth. And one day I finally could understand it, thank God. And
right. So what possible reason could there be for complaining about Indian accented English?
because they're brown and they're going to take over the world. Yeah.
Says she.
Remember, raised by white people. I know this.
Because she's brown. Because they're brown. Exactly.
It's different. No, it's not.
It's not different. In fact, there are Indians who speak English natively.
Yes. Yes.
With an Indian accent.
I'm trying to think. The
their
CNN
native
guy.
language. It's their mother tongue.
The CNN guy. He's East Indian. He went to go visit his mother and took the crew with him. And his mother speaks almost British English. That's how rich that family is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, it's very much Filipino. They also, the higher up you are, the more English and Spanish you speak. It's, it's like these other countries aren't stupid, even from colonialism. If you want to,
but even it doesn't even matter. Sometimes there is Indian accented English that is not British English, that is native English, right?
Proper
Spoken
English.
by native English speakers. So it's proper English.
Just
That's their
brown.
mother tongue, the way they speak it. Anyhow, linguistics. Orion.
How can we hear Orion, but you can't hear Birdie? We have the same microphone.
Well, maybe my pickup is turned up.
I was going to say, you shouldn't, if you can't hear Papa Cat and Birdie.
Can you still hear him?
Is he barking?
No.
Yep, I can still hear him. That's weird. It's got to be something about maybe the newer operating system, because this one isn't even a year old yet, this computer.
Okay, how's that? Good night, good vibes.
Good night, good vibes. Have a good one.
You can still hear him?
Which isn't a big deal to me. I care less.
Can you still
But
hear
yes.
it?
It is the brownness of people that people are always still saying, I'm not prejudiced, but
But
it's like, okay. I kept forgetting to ask you, can you use
that,
this?
what is it?
It's a foot for a sewing machine. I don't know
What
what it
kind of
does.
foot?
It was in my mother's stash, and I'd never seen it before.
I don't have any idea.
Maybe I'll look it up. But yes, no, bigotry and racism are alive
Look
and
it up,
well.
see what it says.
Huh?
Take a picture, do picture identification,
Oh, okay.
and see what it says. They should be able to tell you exactly what it is.
And then the self-hating brown people that elected the idiot in,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, it's not, the black people are not responsible for him getting in. It's the snobbish minorities that you could say. Black people just stayed home because they're tired. I
Yeah.
don't blame them, you know? It's like, I still had carousels in my head when I voted for her, but found out about these self-hating brown people that it's not going to happen to me. It'll happen to them. It's like,
It'll
you are
happen to
them, dude.
them. You are them.
Yep, you are them. Sorry. So even though I did get God put in a newsletter, there's a Dutch guy who's being deported.
The government has restricted Harvard from all their international students.
Don't you love that?
It's okay. Harvard will be fine. It's the students that are the bigger problem.
That's what I was thinking of. I wasn't even thinking of the college. I was thinking of the students. As yeah, it's like Harvard is Harvard.
Harvard
It could
will
do
be
whatever it
fine.
wants.
Their endowment is
Yes.
sufficient. But
There are very rich people from last century that have contributed to Harvard that go into this century. It's not what you'll find any of the billionaires doing now, except for I hear that Bill Gates gives a lot of money away quietly.
Bill Gates has given all his money away, and he came out with words. He is not happy with Trump.
Well, he's the only one that stayed a liberal after he became a rich man.
He's also got more sense than most of them.
Well, yeah. And he created everything. He didn't steal it.
Right. Right. I mean, yeah.
Even though I think Wozniak may be the same way because he doesn't talk anymore. He's gone completely underground since he got married. So, and he was a teacher for a long time. Like in the 90s.
He's a good guy. He's always been a good guy.
Well, that's what I mean. He's staying out of it. Right. And I wish he wouldn't because, you know, it's like, I've always admired him. I've always loved him. It was like, you know, Steve Jobs was always annoying. And seeing them in person when they gave my school computers, it was even, Wozniak just sort of sat there and went to Jobs as he's saying, you know, worship us, blah, blah, blah.
Hey, you know, the friendship worked for the two of them.
Well, yeah, he probably never took Jobs seriously and thought of him as a salesman.
Yeah.
You know, and Jobs probably thought Wozniak was just a big brain. Let's just, you know, use it and sell stuff.
Use it and sell stuff.
But yeah, it's the one thing I also don't understand of these billionaires. You know, before you tried to take over the world, if you would have given half of your world away, people would have been letting you.
Mm-hmm.
No museums, no schools, no endowments, you know, hell, there was a lady in Oakland who was a postal worker who ran into like an estate from her father or mother. She sent a class to college. This was like 20 years ago. She was a postal worker. And she gave away, money instead of holding onto it. Why do you think everything's named after all of these freaking billionaires or, millionaires from the 18th and early 19th century? Because they gave away all of their, or half of their money at least.
They didn't always do it out of the goodness of their hearts.
No, but they still did it.
They still did it.
A lot of it was ego because their name would live on forever. Or
yes.
This is where religion came in handy, or they gave it away because they didn't want to go to hell.
That too. Religion does have its uses on occasion.
Yeah, that's the thing about San Francisco. It's a gold rush town, so we got to hear about people who gave away their money or wound up here and gave away their money. Stanford, Hearst, all of them. Mm-hmm. And the funny part was the ones who gave it away because they thought they were going to go to hell. It's like, now you worry about hell?
You should have worried about hell beforehand. But after the fact works too.
But none of these guys are doing that. The only one who did it was Zuckerberg, but that's because his wife wanted him to.
Well, how many of them are married? I mean, Amazon, what's his name, got divorced.
Yeah, but I don't know if they've had it yet. It's supposed to be like a $60 million wedding in Venice.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's like buying the whole city for the wedding.
Oh,
but you can tell it's a straight up midlife crisis. You can tell. Someone did a side by side on YouTube somewhere about this was him 10 years ago. This is him now. And it's like complete. You can tell he got a midlife crisis. So it's like, and so that's why he's marrying is she Latina? She looks Latina.
I don't know. I don't pay that much attention.
Well, I have because of the orbit and then the wedding. So, but she's got long brown hair. And it's like, oh, so he goes from the, person in his own like realm, sort of nerdy, blonde, has children, and is now going to the hoe.
Oh.
Because yeah, the
second wife is got it.
The second wife or the wife to be is the one who wore the corset top to the inauguration.
That's classy.
Mm-hmm. That's a famous picture of Zuckerberg looking down at her cleavage.
That's even classier.
Mm-hmm. Nothing like a woman wearing a white outfit and a corset top where the blazer comes down, you can see all the lace. That's really classy. We should have impeached him then.
Can we deal with another year, 4 years, 3 years of this? I mean,
no, it's actually not possible. And that's why I'm wondering what the hell is going to happen, because there is no way that we could be supported for 3 years, 2 years of this.
I keep waiting for the pain that Adam says is coming, that I know is coming. It's not just Adam. I know it's coming. I keep waiting for the tidal wave to hit.
I don't think it's coming for the middle class. I think it's coming for the poor. I really do. All I hear is this being cut, that being cut. All of the social services are being cut. They're going to starve children again. It's like they're all aimed at the poor.
Well, they're getting rid of Medicare.
That's also something that older people who are on a fixed income use as they get older.
Yeah.
So it's like he's getting rid of the young poor ones and he's getting rid of the ones who are surviving as elderly people. It's like,
and he's driving up the deficit.
Oh God, yeah, that's. Never mention the fact that he did it by $3 trillion the first time.
Oh, don't even.
That's why we're here, is to talk about it.
Okay, what's next on the list?
I got the
We're an
scolding.
hour in. We're not even.
Yeah, why can't? That's actually one of the questions: is why can't we impeach him and follow through
Well,
on
we
it?
can't impeach him because we don't have the legislature.
You mean accepting, selling?
It doesn't matter. We have to have the votes in the legislature. It really doesn't matter until we get votes in the legislature.
There are Republicans starting to turn. And you figured
And
they
the
would
House
be.
just passed the reconciliation bill.
How do? I mean, does he hate America so much that he's willing to put it into just this huge tenderloin, poverty-stricken, drug-addicted people? Does he hate us that much?
Does he hate the rest of the world? I mean, look at what he's done to the rest.
Well, China's loving it, though. They're getting, partners now.
Well, China is loving it. How much China can make of this is anybody's guess.
Oh, they can. Before they turned their billionaires into you can't spend money outside of China anymore. Excuse me. They have a lot of money.
They do have a lot of money. That is not wrong.
And they have people who can negotiate because, like I said, all those millionaires who had to sell all the condos in San Francisco, they made their money, legitimately, quote unquote.
What are you munching? What are you munching?
Oh, a halt.
Oh.
Because the allergies are really horrible down here this year. That's why I'm doing that.
That's why you're... Yes.
So, yeah, that was a big thing about the city. It's like the reason all those towers kept coming up is that the Chinese businessmen were buying them.
Right.
So, I seriously think that a lot of them haven't been sold because those towers are still barely lit. So,
hasn't San Francisco required all their workforce to come back to work?
They can't. They can try to require it, but tech industry would rather have their networkers, engineers stay where they want to stay. So I think it's a mandatory 3-day at least now.
Okay.
Papa Cat stays home 2 days a week. And I still have friends who stay home a couple of days a week. But I've also got a friend of mine who works exclusively at home because his company sold their building during COVID.
Yeah.
And the whole company works at home. You can't regulate that.
Right.
So
I'm hoping for a situation like that where everybody works from home.
Cool, but you have places like the financial district that's finally starting to come too. I think they're doing Mondays and Fridays too. Because when I'm at the org, it's not busy on Mondays or Fridays.
Oh, okay. So they have Mondays and Fridays from home.
Think so.
And come into the office for a short work week. That makes I can get around that, right? Like give some time for project work on Mondays and Fridays. Come into the office Tuesday through Thursday.
Hell, you can do Monday and Friday a meeting day because meetings aren't done in person anymore. They haven't been in a while.
They're in Zoom anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, this week I did not pay attention a lot to government because my leg was bothering me too much. And I'm like, forget this. I got to
That's
give
not
myself a
good.
break.
Yeah, you need to do that. That's important.
I'm not good at giving myself breaks. So I haven't been paying attention to what the brain dead one in my state is doing, since I know we're not going to ever secede now. Gavin. We figure that his ex-wife told someone something somewhere, and he's using the balloons, using it against him. So, because remember, he did.
What happened?
Kimberly Guilfoyle's his ex-wife.
Really?
Oh my God! I thought everybody knew that. So it isn't
I knew
well known.
that. It just didn't.
No, I was going to say it's not well known. Yeah, no, that's his first wife.
Well, that's not juicy at all.
Well, especially considering he did the meeting with Trump thing where he was against him, came out, and he started turning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he had the conversation, with him, and what did she tell them?
Right.
Yeah, because he totally hosed a beautiful presidential bid by coming out and doing that podcast with the right wingers.
Well, people should throw People should throw everything at the wall right now and try everything, but there's a risk inherent in that, and that could be that it won't go over well. That was not necessarily a well thought out strategy, in my opinion.
Which one?
To go on the podcast.
Oh God, yeah, no, it did. It ruined his political career in California.
You think so?
Oh, I know so. He's never getting voted back into any office here. He'll be outed as governor fast, unless he can climb out of it. I mean, because those two people.
You guys have a recall ability in California?
Yeah, but it can't be used for, he talked to the left or he talked to the right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. It's got to be, federal money, the usual stuff. It can't be just because he made us mad.
Okay.
So, and he's a legitimate politician. That's the thing. From the politician side of the world, he's fine. He just blew it with those first two podcasts.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
yes,
and
he did.
I'm not the only person that said he's never getting back in an office ever again.
Yeah.
He could have been president and Kamala could have been vice president again, like they, before.
If I were Kamala, I wouldn't go for vice president under a white man again. Biden really screwed her. 6 ways from Sunday.
I know, and I think he was half aware of doing it too. I think he knew.
Somebody was aware.
Well, I think he realized that dropping out was going to screw her. So it's just, I don't know, watching him more, because of course he was out more. And then somebody said, well, if he would have let it go before and they had a real primary, she might have had a chance. And that
everybody's all up in arms that she wasn't democratically elected that's such a fucked up reason.
I know. Let's be real. It's a woman and she's black. Get over it.
And furthermore, electing people for primaries didn't used to be a thing. No. The party used to just fucking pick. So
he didn't leave her a lot of time either. She had to do all this real fast.
No, he didn't leave her a lot of time at all. But are you going to read the book? The Biden book?
Oh, not Jake Tapper. I won't give him a damn nickel for the rest of my life as far as I'm concerned. Who's the other one? Huh?
The Jake Tapper one. That's the one I meant.
Remember, I said it this afternoon. Kimmel canceled his Jake Tapper interview the whole show that night. He didn't just say he wasn't going to
Oh,
interview
I missed that. How
him. Yeah,
come?
Kimmel didn't want to interview him. So he canceled the
Why?
show. He didn't go on that night. It was a rerun.
Why did he cancel it?
Because Tapper is talking about his cognitive ability. It's not a good book. I don't think Biden's a disgrace.
I think Biden's a disgrace.
You do?
I think, yeah.
Why?
Because this question was the most important question of any question he could have made as a president.
What?
Whether to run again or not.
But that doesn't make him a disgrace.
He chose wrong out of pride, hubris. He chose wrong for all the wrong reasons.
So how is it wrong? Him dropping out? Him not running what?
Him staying in? Him not dropping out?
Right.
Him not deciding to... like everything... It's not just... he should have never run again. He should have never run again.
He should have been that...
Knowing what we know now... I mean, and I would have voted for him because I was like, look, if this is what we're gonna, if this is better than Trump. But even knowing what we knew 2 years ago, he shouldn't have run. And he did promise he wouldn't run again. He did promise he wouldn't run again. And the other reason he's a disgrace is because he said he didn't want to step down because who were they going to find to run? Kamala?
I forgot about that one.
I have a lot of built respect for Biden. But on this particular one, he screwed the fucking pooch. It was the most important decision of his life and our lives. And he chose wrong. And I'm sorry he chose wrong. And I don't wish him ill. I don't think that makes him a bad person. I think it makes him human. But it's a major fuck up, and it's like if Kennedy had to take the shit on his face from Bay of Pigs. He ordered it. It was a fuck up. Had he won, it would have been a cause celeb. He did not. That is the risk you take. Biden bet wrong really fucking badly.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely agree with you on that.
And he did hurtful things. To say things like, well, who are you going to run? Kamala?
I had forgotten about that one.
He wasn't behind her.
Nope,
he
not at all.
Didn't give her what she needed to become the president. He didn't lift her up.
Nope.
During his presidency as the next, the crown prince. He didn't do any of that.
Oh, he was mad he didn't get to run when Obama won, so that they made Obama instead of him. So he had his little tantrum back then.
No, he was mad about Obama, and then he was mad about Hillary. I mean, it's the entitlement of having finally gotten there. His age, yeah, it just And it's not just him, it's his wife, it's his family, it's the inner core team. If he did squeak out a ring, he'd be resigning now, delaying MAGA's reckoning again. Exactly. Exactly.
I think he should have had better PR definitely while he was in here, because people don't know how things had stabilized, and that's not really him. That was a president being a president while his people stabilized the country.
And he didn't take advantage
Nope.
of his wins. He didn't advertise them. He didn't
Nope.
speak to the country. He didn't talk to people. He didn't he didn't communicate.
MAGA did exactly what they wanted to do with him. They made him embarrassed. So he didn't want to go out in the world because of it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, think about it. They were always harping on his stutter. They were always harping on Sleepy Joe. It's like they attacked his vanity, and he's just as vain as probably the balloon. He just knew how to hide
He's
it better.
pretty vain. He's always been vain.
He seems like the type that would always be vain. So
yes, he couldn't have had good PR because he was incapable of communicating. Look, this is the fucking president's office. They can come up with fucking good PR.
He didn't like to speak because every single time he spoke, they jumped on that first, was his stutter. So, and people who stutter are very, very...
Well, then he shouldn't have fucking run again, should he? I
No.
mean, like, you have to speak
in
order to run for president.
He shouldn't have run anyway, honestly. You know, it should have been someone else and not him if you want to get down to that.
Well, but to be fair, he won. He did win the primary. And everybody wanted him to run. At the time, people wanted him to run.
First or second? Second,
first time.
Oh, first time. I voted for him, but I really wasn't into it because he seemed a little self-righteous to me. It's like he always seemed a little, even when he was, VP, it was just like he looked a little too, it's like he looked like he'd talk down to a woman without a problem.
He's doddering, huh, Adam? Yeah, I agree. He
had a real stutter.
No, but it wasn't the stuttering that was his communication problem, is what Adam's saying.
But they jump on it immediately.
But they would jump, right. And
go ahead.
Look, if he couldn't communicate, then he should have stepped down. If he needed to communicate, or he needed to step down. If he was physically not up to communicating, he needed to step down. I don't understand the thought process.
He's an old
and
white guy.
I'm gonna read the book. I'm gonna read the book because I want to understand the thought process, and all it's gonna do is make me mad.
Yeah,
it's gonna make me mad.
It's gonna be big type, small words, and bullshit. Honestly, you know that.
I know. I'm not looking forward.
Do you have Audible?
Yeah.
Do you have any credits?
Yeah.
Put it on your Audible then. That way you can at least listen to it and not have to have the words enter your brain.
It depends on who's narrating it.
Knowing Jake, it'll be him. The whole alpha male bull is really getting on my nerves now.
Tell me what you really think, Adam. Don't hold back.
Now we have to be nice to him, though, because he's got, what did he call it? Stage 9 cancer? That's what
Stage 9 cancer.
the balloon called it? Yeah.
Stage 9 cancer. For a moment, we had a presidential exchange that was normal and reasonable. Trump said, "Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Well wishes to everyone. And you could have knocked me over with a feather."
I was hoping on it, and I was glad that he did that. It didn't bowl me over. I was glad he did it. He at least played the normal card for that one time, which was good for him. It would have been great for us if he said something completely stupid like Junior did. You know, why didn't Dr. Biden notice?
Oh my God. Really? I
You didn't see that one?
I saw it. No, I saw it. That was my response.
No, my
You're
first
narrating
response,
the book? I'll read it, Adam, if you're narrating.
my first response was, "It's a FUD, you idiot. It's not a doctor."
On the other hand, Jill Biden bears a fuck ton of responsibility.
What, for him and his cancer?
No, for him not stepping down.
No, don't blame her for it. Blame him. Don't. It's too easy.
It is a spouse's job when you are that compromised. Whose job is it to tell you so?
Your mother.
Your closest advisors and your spouse?
But spouses don't work like that in his age range. Remember, that's a boomer there. He probably did not ask her for information, for comfort or anything, because she was a PhD, so she was smarter than him too. So God knows what their marriage was like.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
Oh, tanning beds.
Tanning beds? What about tanning beds?
The 10% tax that was on them has been rescinded. That's part of the budget bill. Tanning beds.
Tanning beds got a special carve out, eh?
Yep, and somebody who was talking, I think this was a clip from MSNBC, said, "Well, some people need to have that orange glow."
The tanning bed lobby clearly has an in somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Considering there are more tanning beds than transgender people. Mm-hmm.
Are there really?
Sure there are. Are you kidding? Especially, Florida and all of that stuff. They even have them in the city.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're probably right. I'm so done with conversations about transgender people. I mean that in a way that is supportive of transgender people.
Oh, I know what you mean. I'm
If
just
it wasn't
sitting here.
clear, I'm just saying it for the rest of the audience.
Yeah, no, it's being very well aware here how much here is different than the rest of the country. So it's like, I actually wouldn't be surprised if we have another, like, back in the 70s, we had the great gay arrival because it was okay to be gay here. So a lot of people, a lot of gay men came out here because it was just easier. So
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if we have another run of transgender people.
Well, yes.
It's fine. I mean,
my child number 3 is transgender and came home from college in the red part of the state.
isn't that the one that's not going back?
Not going back. going back to college, just not going back to the red part of the state.
Okay. Yeah, I was that one really you were used definitely as a story because that one lit me up. It was like, right. So much for your mind. Let's pick on your body instead. Because just the concept alone is so foreign to me, considering I have a few them friends too. And it's like,
you know what? Portland has a lot of transgender, non-gendered bathrooms.
ah,
You know what? I generally like using them more than the others. You know why? Because they have actual doors from floor to ceiling without gaps between them.
it's also a nicer atmosphere in a dual gender, every gender bathroom always has been.
Yes. It's look, when I'm going to the restroom and my pants are down, I'm in a little room with nobody else anyhow.
Mm-hmm. No, that's why I never understood about the transgender bathroom thing. It's like, that's actually one of the safest places you can be. What are you afraid of?
I don't understand the transgender bathroom thing. I never have. But I'm also the girl who goes into the men's bathroom at the stadium because I'm not going to stand in the fucking line.
So I've never been in a men's bath. I've been in a men's bathroom once. My friends, just played a joke on me and I wound up being in it. But do they have doors on their stalls?
It depends on the men's room.
Okay.
It depends on the men's room.
Yeah, that's why
sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but I go into the men's room. If the line is too long, I go into the men's room. They don't fucking care.
Yeah, the women, and you can figure out how to do it without showing off your bits. That's the thing.
It's not that hard to not show off your... Men have a harder time not showing off their bits.
And that's the thing. That's why I didn't understand this whole bathroom thing. It was like...
What are they going to do in the bathroom? Look over the door?
No, they're peeing or going to the bathroom. Are you thinking about bits?
And again, when we get to the bathroom question, I just want to know who's the panty police? Because if we're going to be checking bits, I want to know who are the bit police.
I wouldn't trust a bit policeman because you figure it's a fetish.
Right?
And that's why when they talk about it so much, I'm like, okay, this person seems to have a problem because they keep talking about it. So it's gone from you're an asshole to maybe you need counseling.
Maybe you have some problems. Like, what is your concern here?
Yeah. It's like...
I mean, if you want your own room to go potty in, they have those. They're called family restrooms. And there's only one. And you go in and you close the door and nobody else. And you know what? Do you know what? When you go to the gas station and they have a male bathroom and a female bathroom, do you want to know something about those bathrooms? The ones that are only a toilet with a room? The male side and the female ones, they're exactly the fucking same. So you know the other thing I do when I'm at the restaurant, standing in line at the gas station to go in the potty, if the men's room is the first one that opens up, you know what I do?
Run to it.
And people look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, it's a potty. I need the toilet. I don't.
I grew up here. I've had drag queens in my bathrooms since I was a child. Okay. And I even asked somebody once when I was a kid, why are you using this bathroom? And he was just like, because I'm dressed up like a girl. So
Right.
I'm going to use the girls' bathroom. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, that
So,
makes sense.
yeah. So that's also why the whole bathroom thing was weird to me, because it was like, doesn't
the Bitcoin machine will mean something new, Adam.
But yeah, I assumed that everybody had drag queens and guy cosplayers who use the opposite bathroom when they're dressed up like the gender. So yeah,
No, that's not normal for the rest of the planet, honey.
I know.
It's not normal for the rest of the planet.
It's so weird. So yeah, that's why them talking about bathrooms was just like.
So when my eldest was 2, we had a reunion get together for the baby group that I had been a part of when he was a baby. And we were busy talking. The kids were all around playing. And for some reason, I needed the appropriate word for the sentence was penis. We were talking about something, and that was the appropriate word. And I said the word penis. Now, granted, this was 30 years ago, but I said the word penis in the room filled with children. Yes, I know, Adam. In the room with children, I said the word penis, and all of a sudden you could have heard a pin drop. And the other parents, like daggers. I was instantly in so much trouble because I had used the word penis around their 2-year-olds. And I was so confused. I didn't know what to do with myself because I could not figure out what do they call it. They have 2-year-olds. They need to call it something. They're potty training. Right?
Yeah, well, those were the words you could use, was penis and vagina, because they were the right words.
It was the right word. No, they don't use the right word. They call it a pee-pee or a wee-wee or a...
Oh, their future wife will love that one.
So that is my story about the bad words. Yes, I know they're pushing trans men into female bathrooms, which is
weird, which is super weird.
Is so difficult. And they're pushing trans women into male bathrooms, which
and
is
if that ever happens around me,
dangerous.
I will grab that arm and pull it out.
So dangerous.
Yeah.
And then everybody has to be worried about whether they're passing, like, and again, who are the fucking panty police?
That's why I said the club I worked at last Wednesday, I was looking at all of these people, and it was like, at the time, you're all going to be arrested within a year. And to me, it looked like normal. And I was also thinking, well, if Newsom's jumped the shark, these people aren't going to be safe. It's like when I have to think about what I'm going to do with my bedrooms because I may be harboring people, weenus and vagina.
No, this is our normal time, Dusty.
Yep, we do 2 hours.
We do 2 hours starting at 7 o'clock on Thursdays.
Yeah, even Dusty's world is probably weird because he grew up here. So it's like what is
Dusty
normal.
Dusty is used to the transgender folks in the bathroom.
Or drag queens, or the femmen and everything else.
Or
it's just like
whoever needs to use the bathroom, because unless you're a big burly lumberjack guy, Nobody's gonna really look twice when you come into the bathroom, in the same way that nobody ever, in all of the times I've gone into the men's restrooms, nobody in the men's restroom has ever said a thing to me. The only weird looks I've gotten, interestingly, have been in the not the grocery stores, but the quick marts, the gas station restrooms, where they have two restrooms that are a one shitter, right? And so they have two rooms, one female and one male. And the line goes long for the one and short for the other. And I'm like, we should just have one line, y'all. And so then when I go into the men's room, the women look at me funny.
I was going to say, though, but gas station bathrooms are notorious for being filthy on the men's side.
There are times when one does not care.
Right. But I mean, that's also why, because it's like, I would never use a boys' bathroom at a gas station because everybody says they're disgusting. But that's it.
I have found them to not be any more disgusting ever than the women's side. I mean, they're gas station restrooms. They're not bastions of cleanliness.
Now we're talking about that.
Eat off the floor. It's a gas station bathroom.
You mean there isn't a, was it 5 second? Oh, I can't remember what the hell Papa Cat calls it.
5 second rule?
I guess so, yeah. It's like the first time I ever saw him do that.
Bathroom. But there is a 5 second rule, and when the binky goes on the floor, the solution is always for mom to suck it off. For mom to lick it off.
Yeah, first time I saw that one when I was an adult, I was like, what the? Oh, okay. Because I was like, whoa.
Yes. Put the binky in your mouth, now it's clean.
Yes,
now
exactly.
The baby can have it back.
And of course I'm like, but then won't you get sick?
Yes.
Well, no, but at that point you guys have had so many germs on you that no, you don't get sick.
Right. We don't get sick.
Yeah.
Or we're sick all the time.
Yes.
The kids are bringing it home always.
That was one
problem that is not a problem. No, it's hysteria. It's fucking hysteria.
It's a distraction.
It's fucking hysteria, just like the racism.
God,
racism.
But people have permission to be racist assholes now. Okay?
Yeah.
That is weird. It is just straight up weird because it's worse than even the 80s. It's like, what the hell is wrong with these people? And they all need to be taught to shut their freaking mouth.
Right. What's gross as hell, Dusty?
What, licking the binky?
Licking the binky? Yeah, probably it's gross. But
it is gross, but they're not your children.
What the fuck are you gonna do?
You can't carry the infamous supply because at that age they'll keep doing it.
I mean, there are ways and things you can do that give you, but if the binky goes on the floor and you need to give it back to the kid right away, you've got to have a quick way.
And if you want to train about how it should be done in numbers, it's only for a year or two, and so stop it.
So is getting puked on gross as hell. So is getting spit up in your mouth gross as hell. It's all parenting. So is changing shitty diapers. Parenting is. So is getting shit on. Having it drip down your leg. Parenting is just one long gross out.
Yeah, no, I was talking today about I wanted to be a doctor, but I can't take barf. I just started being able to handle cat barf 5 years ago. And it's like, but of course, my mom could handle everything because my favorite phrase was, Mom, I'm going to get right on her.
I still couldn't handle it. I could
my
handle
mom could.
Spit up. I can't handle barf.
Nope.
I
No problem.
I can't. I can't. I can't. It. I will. I will go myself.
No, my mom could handle it like a mofo. It was hilarious. She wanted to be a nurse and she got pregnant instead. So, but yeah, no,
You
that was
never
me.
gave your mom any warning before you puked? I mean, didn't you
And
know
it
ahead
was,
of time?
and the worst ones is when she was in bed and I did it. Then it was the whole bed had to be redone. So yeah,
That's the worst.
she tried to get me to go to the bathroom first before I told her I had to puke, which was literally between my bedroom and her bedroom.
You want to see the puppy, Dusty? Is that what you're asking for? I was just going to tell Brain Fog. Soda has arrived. He's down here at my feet.
But he can't hear me because you have your earplugs in, right? Or headphones.
Right.
Soda.
There's a puppy, Dusty.
There's the puppy.
Don't lick my face.
God, and I had teacup terrier tongue in my mouth today.
Yeah, they get it. No, he gets it in my mouth all the time.
I know. No, when I was hugging
It's
Lola,
so
when I
gross.
put her up near me, she was like, and I'm like, oh, God.
You should look into Brussels Griffin. Brussels Griffin are tiny and adorable.
Yeah,
But
it was like
Yorkie is just about your speed.
Well, yeah, no, Lola is literally, I could pick her up with one hand.
Yeah.
And it was like, thank God it wasn't a husky, because I could just picture telling Papa Cat, we have to get a husky.
Yeah.
No, it just has to be Lola's size or slightly bigger. So, and I found out that you can do this to dogs too. That's what I did to her for like 10 minutes, just her cheeks and her, and like in the front.
Cheeks and her jowls, they like that. Yeah.
And I was like, this is a cat.
Yes. Anything to change
Did I do
the
the subject? No, Barb.
Okay, so do you have anything else on your list? We're almost at 2 hours.
The Walmart layoff of 1,500. Target CEO took a half pay cut because of the boycotting.
Because of the boycott.
Yeah. So, and they went down a short little history of him. I guess he was actually not for all the stuff that they were doing. So he took advantage of the balloon being in and took out all the DEI and all the gay stuff. And he got his salary literally cut in half this year.
Wow. Bichons are nice, Adam. I agree. Bichons are nice.
Yes. Yes.
Look at a Bichon.
Actually, my favorite dog, if it was going to be little, I'd want a Papillon.
Well,
because
then look at a Papillon.
I know we're probably going to have to buy one finally because now it's a matter of my anxiety, which sucks.
You're going to have an easier time if you go with a reputable breeder.
And I'm sure I can find one. My cousin's best friend was a poodle breeder. So, which I would have loved a standard poodle too. I love
It's not that I don't think rescues are a good thing. It's that just like not everybody is up for adopting a kid with all of the problems that come with adopting a kid.
Right.
Not everybody is up for rescuing a dog with all of the problems that can come with rescuing a dog. Considering often we don't even know the dog's history, whereas at least if when you adopt a child, you know the child's history. You have some clue what you're getting yourself into.
And if I went to a shelter, I'd wind up with a husky.
Yes.
I know it. I don't trust. I had a medium-sized dog growing up. I don't trust myself around medium and big dogs right now.
Iguanas are friendly.
I don't want an iguana. I've already lived with a snake. Boots was boring. I'm sorry.
Iguanas are friendly.
Yeah, but I'm not into reptiles.
I'm not into reptiles
something that I can
It wouldn't
groom.
turn my crank.
Yeah.
It wouldn't turn my crank.
I want something that I can groom, not something I have to wipe. I need a kitten orange tabby. I love Andrea said no. Why? Because you wouldn't keep the kitten up. If you want it, you have to take care of it. That's the thing. Whoever wants the pet has to be the prime person. So, yeah, we're going to probably wind up with 2 new cats and a dog. Still won't be as bad as the cattery people who are up to 10 again, or 12, but 2 are outdoors right now. But they're the ones who got the 4 kittens. It's like probably still wind up if there's 2 girls in there with those kittens, but we're just not going to have a Great Dane or a Husky or a Bernese.
A small dog. I mean, the advantage of a small dog is I can have Orion go on a pad in the house if I need to.
Can literally carry them in a purse.
And I can't carry him in a purse, but you could carry yours in a purse. Yes.
Yes. So,
the model that I was shown when I decided I wanted a miniature dachshund, the model that I was shown was about 10 pounds. You have a small farm already. You do have a small farm already, Dusty.
He does? I didn't know about that.
Dusty has turtles.
No.
He has a zoo full of turtles.
Okay, yeah, you don't need... Adam, I've lived with a snake, literally. I had a 7-foot python as a roommate, and I call him Boots because I said if he ever ate one of my cats, I'd have a great pair of boots.
You'd have a nice pair of boots. There
yeah,
you go.
So I lived with Boots for a year and a half, and all he did was scare the bejesus out of everybody.
Pythons are cool.
Yeah, they're great. They're actually great pets, but I just don't want something I have to wipe down.
They take a lot of work. I mean, you've got to clean the shit out. You've got to...
concentration. And they don't stop growing.
That too.
And in California, you can only have, I think, between 5 and 8 pounds. So you get one at 5, and then you have to take it back 2-3 years later. So it's not really even a long-term
You can't
thing.
have a python larger than 8 pounds?
No, 8 feet. I'm sorry, 8 feet.
Oh, 8 feet. Okay.
3 to 8 feet. That's when you get to have them. Because even when they're bigger than 8 feet, even snake handlers can't promise that a python won't stay good. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the thing, is that friends who got pythons had to give them back. So
yeah.
And it was hard for a couple of people because that was their pet. So, and you have a golden retriever.
The golden retrievers. He's got Hank and Peggy.
20 turtles. No, you can't have a tabby. And it's hard to find an orange tabby girl anyway. Abby is an anomaly in the wild kingdom. Yes. Abby is weird. And anybody who knows cats that I say have an orange tabby girl, they're all like, oh, really?
I want another kitten, but that's not going to happen.
Not with those two floating around.
Not with these two. No.
Yeah, those are 3 cats each.
Exactly. Okay, what else is on your list? I want to tell my good story.
The Israeli embassy workers. That nobody is covering, I've heard.
Yeah.
Why isn't anybody covering it?
I don't know.
You want a boy cat. You can't have a cat, Dusty. From what I heard, they call it the legacy media now, isn't covering it?
I don't know. I mean, it's in the New York Times.
So it was, I saw when he got into the, get a puma.
A puma.
Was it like that couple in South America? They have some kind of cat. But yeah, no, the only thing I saw was the guy going into the police station.
Obvious.
And I was saying, please don't say it. Please don't say it. And he said it.
He said what?
Free Palestine. And considering after he shot them a lot, he went into the embassy and was sitting there for 15 minutes.
Wow.
So I don't think it had anything to do with politics. I mean, it might have been something that he saw that day, but I don't think, I think he was just bad. So, but him saying that it's like, why? Why did you have to say that? And he was like from New Jersey or something. So he went from wherever he lived to DC to do it.
Okay. It's a terrible tragedy.
It's bullshit.
Terrible tragedy. Unfortunately, it's going to be used for political purposes.
That's why I was saying, please don't say it. Please don't say it.
But it's a terrible tragedy.
Yeah, he can be a video short now forever.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that wasn't a good one. That's the last one.
That's the last one? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the Supreme Court. There was a shooting case. And cop shot a black man. Surprise.
Yeah, that was a good thing. Welcome to Oakland. Yeah.
He stopped this guy for non-payment of toll fares.
Okay.
It was a rental car. It was his girlfriend's rental car.
And he was used to the fast passes being on him.
No, they didn't even incur the tolls. It was non-payment of tolls. They didn't even incur the tolls. It was a rental car. The rental company hadn't paid the tolls.
Oh, okay.
So he got stopped. He got pulled over. They were talking. The cop says, put your keys on the dash. And the guy instead puts his keys in the ignition, starts the car, and starts to drive off.
Okay.
So the cop decides that the most expeditious and reasonable course of action is to jump on the car. So now the cop is on a moving vehicle. So now the cop's life is in immediate danger.
Now he can shoot him.
Well, so that's what he did. He shot him.
He jumped on the car. It shouldn't have been.
Yes. And the law says that if it's imminent harm.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Fifth Circuit, I'm pretty sure it was the Fifth Circuit. Adam, do you know this case? The Fifth Circuit said no. The Fifth Circuit said it was imminent harm because he was in danger for his life. And they sent it up to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court looked at this and went,
you jumped on the car.
Let me repeat. He jumped on the fucking car.
So he wasn't like in it or anything. He jumped on the car.
And then shot the guy.
Right.
And so the Supreme Court said in a unanimous decision, the Supreme Court said, get the fuck out of here. You've got to consider the whole of the circumstances. I tell you true.
Wow.
That's what the Supreme Court said.
Cool. Did the guy got shot? Did he die?
Yeah, he's gone.
So now his family can sue the city
Yes.
because, yeah, being
Yeah.
pulled by it, being caught in a bumper, whatever, that's imminent danger, not jumping on the car.
Jumped on the car and then shot the guy because he was in imminent danger.
Which put him in more imminent danger because if he shot the
You
guy,
think?
yeah, the car would. What if the car went into a pole or went into a ditch? Either way, the cop's dead. So it's like, why did you shoot him while he was moving, you idiot? So unanimous, though, that's actually amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know they could vote unanimous on anything.
I didn't know that the two of the judges could vote reasonably on anything. Yes.
When did this?
Unanimous.
When did they make the
Last
judgment?
week.
Last week.
Last week.
Okay. So because
It
it's like,
came down last week.
does that mean that they're finally not wanting to take it anymore from the orange balloon? Because
I don't know.
well,
I
since
mean,
Roberts jumped the ship and is now on the intelligence side of the world,
for now,
that's what I
on
mean.
these cases,
You never know. I mean, it's a good sign if they're fighting against it, because that means that they are, that they're not losing leverage with the balloon. So that means that, that's a good sign. So now if we could only get him out. Actually, I was thinking, once he leaves, there are going to be a bunch of new laws about what you can't do or what you cannot elect as a president.
there will be once we get this. If we live 4 more years, there certainly will be.
Now, I'm sure we'll live. I'll just have 4 boarders in my house at least because, nobody will be able to afford to rent a house
Yeah.
or an apartment. It's
Or
like
an
just the
apartment.
concept alone of, well, that and the AI thing. AI is not going to take over the world. Sorry.
You don't think so?
No.
It may use up all the electricity though.
It definitely won't take over the world, at least for the next 10 or 15 years, because
Yeah.
it doesn't know how to act like a real person.
Right.
So
Right.
that's what they were, hoping to do, so we could take up everybody's jobs. But you know what? It can't take the jobs of the people who are programming them.
That's one of the things that they're trying. That's one of the fastest growing. They're hiring AI programmers. Yeah, they're trying to get the AI to do the programming. I don't see how that's a thing that can work.
I was going to say, programmers are not stupid, but they're very good at putting things in that won't get it to completely go. So relying on programmers to program something to take their jobs ain't ever going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are ultra nerds. Those are the ones who are like, oh, hell no, but I'm not going to tell you that,
Right.
They'll tell you on their, deathbed.
Curriculum.
Hmm?
The stealth curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
So in school, they've talked about, how do you teach these students? Yeah, the electricity problem is huge. How do you teach these students when the schools don't necessarily have the same ideas about what's important and how it's important and what kind of methodology you use?
Right. And, just between even you and me, our education is different because of where we grew up and what time we grew up.
Right.
So
go ahead.
I can tell AI on a video because they mispronounce a name or they don't put the inflection where they should. That, the questions are always blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I can't listen to those AI narrated videos.
The minute I
hear it, it's off.
It's like, yep.
The minute I hear it, it's off.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm the same way.
Here.
I tried to put up with it, but it was just the mispronounced names and then never the inflection on a question mark.
Yes. Well, here's one for you. Did you hear that Amazon is going to hire AI narrators. Not hire, but move to AI narrators.
And people are pissed.
Oh, I'm pissed as a reader.
Oh, no, I am too. I mean, I don't understand how they can, because that's the thing with Duolingo, because they said they were going to go AI, and how can you go AI on a freaking, teaching languages?
Right.
So it's like the narrators, it won't last. That's the thing. People, they'll do what they do with things when they do it too early. They'll go crazy. They'll install this, find out that nobody wants to put up with it, and put it back. Exactly. But yeah, no, they'll try, give them a couple of years, and then it'll
fail.
Quietly all go back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's done before. That's just the way Silicon Valley works. Always has. They always out themselves. Oh, we're going to get away with something. No, you're not. You just told everybody what you're doing. It's always been the thing. It's like, they just told everybody that AI is taking over the world. It isn't now because everybody's going to be paying attention to it.
Right. Okay, guys, is there any other stories you wanted us to talk about this week? This is your 10-second warning.
Come on, Adam. You got anything up here? I was listening to a narration and I couldn't tell if it was AI until it said someone was born in 1029. Yep, it's stuff like that.
1029?
Uh-huh.
What's that?
Exactly. It does that. It's like I've even heard like $3.88 and it's like, what?
Well, and I have AI read to me from the narrative 1929.
I knew that's what he meant.
1929. Got it. 1929.
Mm-hmm. Things like that it can't do. And I don't think it's something it could teach them because of the numbers alone. It's like, that's going to be...
No, that's easy to teach them. I mean, like, I have to teach... There's specific ways. There's ways to teach English speakers how to read numbers. You can teach the AI how to do it. There's a regularity to it. It's not difficult.
It's characters, I think it has a problem with. Because, like I said, $, ampersand, stuff like that.
Oh,
it's like,
interesting.
Yeah, I think it has a problem with characters as part of like a sentence.
Okay.
So
okay.
Mm-hmm. It's like it's like people have said there are certain like Mandarin, one word can mean 5 different things just by the inflection alone. And since AI doesn't do inflections right now,
right,
they can start World War III by accident. So that's why I give it a while. Hi, Kristen. We're just about to leave.
Hey, Kristen. We are just about to leave.
So it's like, yeah, if you hear anything and you find out it's AI, immediately change the channel. Get rid of it, delete it, go to next, because they're watching everything, of course. And so they'll know when you hit that point where you left. And if they're finding out that it's AI, it will slowly disappear.
I won't listen to the ones that are narrated by an AI. If it's not a real person, it doesn't, like, I applied, there's an organization that does textbooks on, like, Audible for textbooks, right?
Like for the blind, yeah.
Like for the blind. And they're volunteer readers.
Hey. My mother-in-law was a reader for blind.
Yeah. The problem with this is I used it for my ADD, right? The problem with this is that they're just reading the words. They're just reading the words. They're taking no meaning. They're not conveying any meaning. They're just reading the words on the page. And it doesn't help me to understand anything.
I was going to say, that can't be
No,
good.
it's like I was listening to a narration and I couldn't tell if it was AI until it said someone was born in 1029. Right? There's nothing. So even the volunteer readers didn't work for me. AI certainly isn't going to work.
Yeah, I remember his mom talking about reading and that she has to do it at a certain like cadence and tone and stuff. And I never even thought about, it takes all the meaning out of the words that are spoken.
It takes all the meaning out of the words. They're just and books on tape. I mean, if you've got a narrator, if you've got a fiction book and you've got somebody reading it for an audiobook, they're not just reading the words on the page, they're interpreting those words into something. You want to learn Braille, Adam? That would be cool.
If you were serious, that would be neat.
Yeah.
Sort of like if you learn ASL. I tried to learn ASL in 9th grade because the cutest boy in school was deaf and he'd only date someone who spoke ASL.
Oh.
Talk about being motivated by the weirdest things. So the only thing that stuck with me is this. You know what this is?
What's that?
Effing.
Oh.
That's why in Children of a Lesser God, when she goes, all they did was this.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So, no, that's the only thing I've pretty much carried through it is that I know it is cursed.
You know how to swear in sign language. Assalamu alaikum, Kristen. Okay. We have reached 2 hours. I think it is time for us to say our goodbyes.
And I've worn her out again.
Yeah, and I've got Foganov waiting.
Yes, you do. Oh my God. Okay, yes, we're done.
Okay. We'll see you guys later.